But I will say this, I am happy to be in Pasadena because I am happy to be anywhere that isn't Cleveland, Ohio right now. Because recently I was stranded at the airport in Cleveland, Ohio. Because I recently found out I am on a no-fly list. Yeah, surprised me too. Guys, last time I was legally allowed to fly, I had a flight from Houston, Texas to Los Angeles with a layover in Salt Lake City. So guys, that day I was the only black man on a flight to Salt Lake City. Which means, guys, that day I was the only black man in Salt Lake City, okay? I know this, the Utah Jazz were on a road trip. I was by myself, there was no one there to protect me. And while I'm sitting on this flight, I'm minding my own business. Next thing I know, a woman walks up, taps me on the shoulder and says, "Excuse me, my husband's sitting next to you, but I'm sitting in the back of the plane. Would you mind switching seats so that we can sit together?" Yeah, at that moment, I had to weigh a family's togetherness versus my own comfort. So as a comic, because I like to play jokes on people, I did the only thing I thought would be hilarious in that situation. I looked that woman in her eyes and went, "Ulumalalala," and pretended like I was African, right? So she would leave me alone. But did she leave me alone? No. She stood up in front of that flight and said, "Excuse me, does anybody on this plane speak African? I'm trying to communicate with this black guy sitting right here." And that upset me because she said, "Does anybody speak African?" And that's not a language, but at this moment I can't let her know I'm upset because I decided I don't speak English and I commit to the bit. This is Groundlings 101. I'm yes-anding, you know what I'm saying? Now, next thing I know, guy from the back of the plane runs up and says, "I just came back from a trip from South Africa. Maybe I can help translate." And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Why would you bring reality in this situation? So I can't fly. Have a good night, guys.